Hey there, community. Jason Rahm here with DevCentral at F5 AppWorld 2025, and I have Kendall Brenneise.
Yeah.
Is that close enough?
Close enough, I'll take it. It's pretty common to get it that way, but yeah, Brenneise.
Brenneise, okay.
Yes.
And the Senior Manager of Digital Services.
Correct.
For F5 here. And so why don't you just take a second and introduce kind of what you do. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's a fun little job because we get to kind of play in a lot of spaces, but similar to Community, our big heart and passion is enabling our customers to self-solve. And the way or the location in which we primarily do that is on the MyF5 Portal. So on MyF5, most of our customers and partners know that as the place to go when I need to get help or open a case or contact support, that kind of thing. That's a primary place where we live and play.
Okay, so yeah, and so for the long timers, MyF5 is the evolution from Ask F5.
Yes, for those who've been around.
Yeah, and you told me a little nugget about how Ask F5 got its name.
Yeah, for those who might have been around a while, Ask F5, the original search engine way back in the day, pre-Google, was Ask Jeeves. So that was kind of a fun play on words that when we were looking for search engines and enabling our customers to find things back 20 plus years ago, we were using Ask Jeeves.
That's, yeah, I've been here 17 years and I did not know that nugget. I know a lot of the little F5 history nuggets, but I did not know that one. So
excellent.
So that's awesome. Okay, so we've been talking. We actually, if you're not here at AppWorld, you have not seen the booth, which I will include some clips of. But we share a booth, and so we have MyF5, we have DevCentral, and there's a lot of synergies, like you said, that we share. What are some of the things on your side of the house around self-solve that are addressing pain points? Maybe you could talk about the pain points first,
sure,
and then some of the tools that they have available to them to enhance that self-solve process.
As a former, or what I like to call a recovering support engineer myself, since I used to be a support engineer at F5, by and large, it's the upgrade experience. Ensuring that the remaining unsupported code, secure code is what we really, truly are passionate about, is going through that upgrade process. And while we've got all kinds of content, whether it's on YouTube, on DevCentral, on MyF5, there's all kinds of content out there around how to upgrade. But there's kind of some newer innovative tools that have started to come out around like preparing for, planning an upgrade and things like that. And those tools we're starting to really kind of push out there, and it's one of the things we've been talking about here while we're at AppWorld. My personal favorite is there's a YouTube playlist now on the Ask F5 YouTube channel that actually walks you through step by step how to go through an upgrade. And the reason we pushed that out was primarily because the old cliche of a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Well, what's a video worth, right? Wouldn't it be helpful to have a video hands-on walkthrough? So that upgrade playlist is a great tip to use. And then the other one that we've seen in the community talked a lot about is Upgrade Advisor. In iHealth, and I think we were getting to talk about that a little bit.
So I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah, please.
So in a lot of like upgrade discussions that we've had, sometimes around quarterly security notifications, where people are like, where did my upgrade advisor go? Because it was something for a long time, and then it wasn't, and people were frankly pretty salty about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. You said it's been back a couple quarters now?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date, so don't quote me on that. But what you can essentially do is upload your quick view into iHealth, and underneath the diagnostics section, there's the upgrade advisor is there, and you can pick what version you're trying to go to, and it will read your quick view to kind of identify what kinds of potential issues you might want to be aware of in that upgrade process. And it's a big part of us trying to be super transparent and being like, hey, code is going to always break at some point, at least until AI just magically does it all for us. But to enable people to know what they're walking into so that upgrade experience is both successful, but also that they know what kind of punches they might get thrown at them depending on what versions of code they're running and what modules they're running and things like that. So
yeah, the transparency is the key, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most people are reasonable, and it's like, okay, what do I have in front of me? It's the lack of transparency that sometimes bites us, because it's just, you don't know what you don't know, and then you get bit in a maintenance window, and it's frustrating. We get that. So having that transparency back and something like an upgrade advisor,
absolutely.
I love it, and I'm super excited for you, but I'm super excited for myself because I don't have to get the salty questions anymore about where did upgrade advisor go.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So what other cool things are you working on?
Yeah, like anybody, we've been diving a lot more into the content management space. In fact, back in about 2019, 2020, we started to shift our approach in support and services as a whole to think more many-to-many or even scale, because as we start to launch new products and new customers come in, we start to run into our own ball of fire challenge inside of services and scaling to that demand. So what we really started to emphasize is our support staff, as they're working with customers and learning new things, learning how customers do really creative and innovative things with our product, or even maybe break it in unexpected ways. Our support staff are publishing answers to what they learn on MyF5 now as well. In fact, we've quadrupled the size of the knowledge base in about the last 10 years. As of right now, we're sitting a little over 40,000 articles. The bulk of that knowledge base today is now directly written by support. It didn't used to be that way.
Yeah.
So that was another scale thing that we started to approach for enabling people to self-solve. And then of course, here comes the magic word, lay a little fancy AI over the top of that. So the other thing that we launched just this last year was a large language model hybridized with search on the front end of MyF5. So what that really empowers us to do is stitch together answers that might exist across multiple content repositories as well as multiple articles.
Yeah.
So today, if you go to MyF5, we've got a little hidden AI running under the hood. So if you search, or really if you prompt it with a question, sometimes it'll spit back a list of search results, which is the classic way of doing things. Other times, if it finds that it can stitch together an answer across multiple articles, it'll generate an LLM-based response at that point, trying to, again, help our customers self-solve as much as we can.
Yeah, I have noticed that a couple times. One of them, I was doing some kind of a TCP search, and I was looking for the particular flags. And I noticed the way the results came back. They gave me, what I used to have to do is I'd click into one article, and it had related stuff in the article at the bottom, but a lot of that related stuff was right there in my search results.
Absolutely.
Which means, I get to quickly decipher and weed through that stuff.
Absolutely, and that's really what it's all about in that instance. We're not doing it to try to replace search or like that at all, but rather to augment it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes to get the whole answer, you might need to look at 1, 2, 3 articles. Well, why not use the power of an LLM for something like that? So that's where we're applying that on MyF5 now.
Yeah. So here for AppWorld, how has your experience been in talking to customers?
It's been fantastic. In fact, consistently, customers are like, man, we love your support staff. They're really, really brilliant. They come up with some really creative solutions to some of the challenging problems we escalate on. So that was really, really neat to see. Of course, there's been this upgrade advisor. There's definitely been that kind of reaction when we demo that and show them that. And then one of the things that we spent some time demoing at AppWorld is how to prompt instead of just how to search.
Yeah.
We've kind of been indoctrinated, maybe even spoiled by Google over the last couple of decades, and a lot of people just putting in some keyword searches. So we've done a little bit of crash course and tutorials on the difference in searching and prompting, and that sparked up a lot of conversations and kind of, I think, some eye-opening experiences of just how you can get more out of our large language models in customer-facing aspects.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have that demo on your Ask F5 channel?
Not on the Ask F5 YouTube channel at the moment, but we do have some articles published on the site. That's a great plug. I'm going to have to file that away for our team to see if we can do a video demo version of it. But right at the top of MyF5, you can see that we've got some tips, like a quick tip button that'll basically walk you through some techniques on how to do it. In fact, just a quick plug for one that comes to mind is writing as, almost in a similar fashion to writing a user story. Ironically enough, is the same way to get a lot out of our LLM. You could just drop the user part, the who are you, because we know a lot about that user by the fact that you're on our site and logging in and using it in that fashion. But that's one quick little tip for you.
Cool. So. Well, maybe we'll have to have you on live stream soon, and we'll maybe do some prompting.
Kind of play with it, break it.
To help some self-solve. So if you have particular search pains on MyF5 currently, drop them in the comments below, and we'll get those, and maybe we can put a little show together and we'll work through that.
Yeah, maybe do some crash course, some live stuff. Yeah. And I would also encourage too the viewers for DevCentral too, that if you're experiencing those kind of pains, feel free. There's a feedback button at the top, also at the bottom of the MyF5 portal, and we receive that. My team receives that, and we try to act on that as quickly as we can. So
yeah, awesome. Well, love the work you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's been awesome hanging out in the booth with you this week.
Yeah.
We'll see you out there in the community. Enjoy your week.